Hey everyone, Jason Weckerle here. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make inline spinners for muskies, pike. You can even take these tips and make smaller spinners for fish like bass, trout, even salmon, panfish, whatever. But today we're making double 10 cowgirl style spinners. And what that is, two number 10 spinner blades. We're going to be using tinsel for the body. You can use bucktail hair, marabou feathers, tinsel, whatever you really want. Some guys don't even use any sort of body. They put plastic tails on their spinners. But you can let your mind run wild, your imagination, and make all sorts of different types of spinners. You can use little tiny, smaller blades, like this size 6 blade right here. You can even go down to size 1 if you're making spinners for trout, panfish, whatever. But since we're making musky size spinners, you can see that's about a 10-inch, 11-inch long bait. I'm going to show you guys what I like to use, what I like to do to make these. Today we're going to be making kind of a Halloween type pattern, a black and orange. I'm going to make one with these black and orange color combos right here. And I'm going to make the other one with a brass blade and an orange blade. So let's get started. First, you're going to want to buy yourself either some pre-tied tinsel like I have here, or you're going to want to tie your own tinsel. This is just magnum size thick Flashabou tinsel. And if you're going to tie your own, you just want to buy these little tiny choke cable mechanisms right here. They're just kind of like little springs. And these things, you just kind of lay the tinsel on there or the hair and you tie it on there. But since we're using pre-made tails, we're not going to have to do that. When I'm tying these larger spinners, I like to use 2 tails on one spinner. Gives it more bulk, more flash, more action. But if you're going to be making like a single blade or a smaller bucktail for muskies and pike, you can go with one body if you want. But we got the tinsel. We have a .51 gauge wire right here. This is bucktail wire. I have a 3/8 ounce egg sinker, 3/8 ounce little brass body right there. And I use a few beads. You can use brass, gold, silver, whatever color you want. But I like to use some beads on the wire, kind of a fatter one and a smaller one. You're going to have to get yourself some spinner clevises that have holes thick enough for the wire that you're using. And I like to use these little tiny cone beads behind my spinner blade. Kind of helps them spin a little bit easier. All right, let's get started. First, you're going to want to take your clevis. You put one, and I'm going to put a black blade on there. And then here's the tricky part with double blades. You don't slide both clevises on at the same time. You want to get the other clevis on there. Then you're going to put your second blade on. And then slide both clevises on. So it's kind of dangling so it can spin around that wire kind of together like that. You don't slide, like they're kind of interconnected, if that makes sense. So you can see that. Slide that on there behind the clevises and blades. And then take a brass bead. your body, just like that. All right, then what I like to do is I put 2 beads on the back of that. So you got yourself your body right here. You can see all that. It's already looking really nice. All right, then you're gonna take your tinsel body, slide 1 on there. Then I take a little bead, just a smaller one. I just like to space those 2 bodies apart a little bit, just like that. Take your second body, slide it on there. As you can see, looking pretty sharp. Then you're gonna take your egg sinker. I like to slide that on last. Take a round nose pliers. This isn't a needle nose, it's a round nose. Give yourself about 2 inches, 2.5 inches of space. So you want to give yourself some room. So you want to bend that all the way around like that, and just give it about 2 or 3 twists, really close, and straighten that out a little bit. So you got that right there. Take a wire cutter. You want to cut off that excess. Watch your eyes. Right there, we got ourselves our spinner all built. But we're not done yet, because we still got to add some hooks, split rings, shrink wrap. All right, so what you do is you take, I like to use a 6/0 treble hook. These are Mustad. And get yourself some shrink wrap and some split rings. And what I do, you have to measure out with the size of the hook about how much shrink wrap you're gonna need. So I like to measure it out like so. Cut that right about there. Grab yourself a lighter. One tip I'll give you with your treble hooks is try to bend them out slightly so they're not kind of caved in, so they're opened up a little bit. I haven't done that to this one yet, but I like to open them up a little bit with the pliers so you get better hook sets. On this spinner, these bigger ones, I like to use 2 treble hooks usually. You don't have to, you can use 1. It might cost you some strikes though, so sometimes it's a good idea just to go with 2 of them. What I do, put my split ring on first. Get yourself a decent pair of split ring pliers, round nose pliers, wire cutters, scissors, some shrink wrap right there, and well, those are all the tools you need to make spinners. But we got our split ring on there now. That one I'm going to cut down a little bit more. You want it just so the tippy top of your split ring comes out the top just like that. And then I'm going to put that treble hook right on the back of my spinner. So without burning your tinsel, you want to slide that shrink wrap over the split ring and that twist that you put in the main wire. You want that split ring to be like right in the middle, just like that. And what that does is it keeps your treble hook pointing straight back so it doesn't flip over when the fish rushes the bait, causing you to miss hook sets. You take that lighter. Once that starts to melt, it hardens, keeps that treble hook, like I said, pointing straight back. There we go. It's really hot right now. But once that cools down, it'll keep that treble hook on there straight, like I said. Then last but not least, we'll add the second treble hook. And all I do for that, since we used a 6/0 hook on the back, I'm gonna go with a 5/0 hook for the second hook. And what I do, I added that second bead down here. That kind of helps keep the blades, you know, off that tinsel as good as you can. Here we go. Just take another split ring. Make sure you use heavy duty components, good hooks. Sharpen your hooks. Don't ever trust that a treble hook on even a brand new lure is sharp enough. These muskies got really bony mouths and they need very sharp hooks to drive into their mouths. So sharpen your hooks with a good hook file, but take your needle nose, or not your needle nose, your split ring pliers. And I like to place that split ring right on the main wire of this bucktail spinner. So right in between these two beads right here. Just try to carefully, without hooking yourself. If you make enough spinners, you will hook yourself a couple times, poke yourself, whatever. Comes with the territory. But I should be wearing goggles right now when I'm cutting wire and all that stuff, but there we go. Like I said, right in between these two beads is where I put that split ring and second hook. Right on that main wire, just like that. So we got our bucktail all made now. This is all done. I just gotta sharpen my hooks, which we'll save hook sharpening for another video in the future, but this has two hooks on the front and back. Got that one on there shrink wrapped. Got that second one, just in case the fish takes the bait from the front or the side. There we go, folks. That is a nice looking black and orange bucktail spinner. Double 10 blades, size 10 blades. You can go with double 8s. They've even been making spinners now with a size 10 and a size 8, or a size 9 and 10, or like mixing up the blade sizes. You can go with these fluted blades, like this one right here. Willow leaf blades, which are a lot skinnier. I can show you that. There's just all different types of blades, colors, sizes. Like this is a willow leaf style blade right here. And the difference between all these spinner blades, the willow leaf blades run the deepest and put out the most flash. They kind of lay flatter to the spinner wire, so they can run deeper. A wider blade, like this Colorado blade right here, this has more thump, more vibration, more lift in the water, so it's better for shallower spinners. And then you have kind of in-between type blades, like this is a kind of like an Indiana blade right here, they call it. It's a cross between a willow leaf and a Colorado. So you got willow leaf, Indiana, Colorado. Then you have French blades, which come on like your standard Mepps Musky killer spinners. But you can make all sorts of different sizes, colors, styles. You can make them bigger, smaller. I mean, this is a very large bait right here. This is just your standard size musky spinner. But if you were throwing this 30 years ago, guys would have been looking at you like you were crazy. This would have been considered huge. So this craze with these bigger blades Started about 20 years ago with the cowgirl spinner. So all of us making this style bait, we owe it to the cowgirl. Black and orange, black and silver blades. You can go wild. I mean, black and orange is a hot color, black and silver, black and gold. Let the fish tell you what they want. I mean, I can tell you what to throw, but every body of water has its own color combination that might be hot. I mean, I like black blades with the green and black, kind of like a largemouth bass, stuff like that. I mean, this right here, this is considered like a silver rainbow nickel they call it. But this is a spinner I made with a single blade, just a single size 7, and I actually put a 3/4 ounce sinker, really heavy egg sinker on here, because I wanted this to stay down when I'm reeling really fast, burning those spinners. Sometimes in the summertime you need speed to get those fish triggered, and sometimes I put heavier sinkers on the back of these baits to get them to run deeper at faster speeds to keep them down so they don't blow out on the surface. But I hope these tips help you guys. I'm gonna make another spinner here. Hopefully you guys could see what I was doing really well. But that is gonna be a hot musky catcher right there. Black and orange, can't go wrong with that. A little bit of gold in there. Perfect for stained water, clear water, whatever. If you guys liked this video, found it informative, subscribe to my page, hit the like button. Subscribing is free. It gives you all my latest content, keeps you up to date with my videos. Hopefully, assuming YouTube pushes my videos, because that's been kind of an uphill battle. Whole nother story I don't even want to get into, but I hope you guys liked this video, and hopefully you guys give spinner making a try. It saves you money. You can make your own custom colors, sizes, blade styles, whatever. It's a lot of fun. It passes the time during the winter months when you're thinking about musky fishing. Or if you're even a trout fisherman, all these tips will help too. You just got to use thinner wire, smaller blades, smaller clevises, beads, hooks, all that. I mean, I can make another video in the future on how to make trout spinners, whatever, but this is just your basic tutorial on how to make these spinners, and I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck fishing. Take care.